to Espresso with Saul, where we discuss current events, firearms, stories of Paul Harrell, and last but not least, coffee and espresso. Allow me to introduce you to my Elektra MicroCasa A Leva. Now, I'm not an expert on this subject. I'm neither a barista nor a barrister, but what I can tell you with my limited research is these were designed somewhere in the 1920s or 30s. It's a boiler system that draws the water up through the boiler in and out through the basket, making a delicious cup of espresso. Now, this particular one, I believe Elektra started making these in 1980. And with minor changes, they've remained very close to the exact same machine that I have here for the last 45 years. So let me show you how this works. Now over here, I have the bean grinder set at a number 6 for 11 seconds. What I'll tell you is that's subject to change, and it all depends on the type of beans that you're using, at least in my machine, and it also can change depending on how old the beans are, how oily they are, and I'm constantly making minor adjustments. Here, let me show you the beans that we're using today. This is a dark, oily roast. It's an Ethiopian blend that is washed. Now what I'll tell you is, well, actually, I'll say some people have told me, well, I drink a blonde because it has more caffeine in it. I gotta tell you, I drink this stuff for the flavor. If I want more caffeine, I'll go ahead and pour myself another shot. I use the leveler over here, and then they tell me, whoever they are, that you apply around 10 pounds of pressure onto the tamper. Well, I don't exactly know what 10 pounds of pressure feels like, but that should be good. So, before I draw this, sometimes when you draw the first draw, it will actually not have enough pressure into it, and I will go ahead and let it draw even farther than you're supposed to. Typically, you let it go up to just above a 90 degree and then reset the plunger for like 1.5 full draw, or 1.5 draws out of it. But we'll go ahead and see how she's acting today. It is a temperamental machine, so as soon as we have some drops of espresso coming out, there we go. Yeah, not very much pressure, so I'll actually let it go a little bit beyond what I normally would. Now this next draw is full. Perfect. So I have my hand sitting right here because it can overpressure this basket, kicking it out, and even pressure with enough force to break the cups that we have here. It doesn't happen very often. It's actually extremely rare, but it can happen, and you need to be aware of that. Now, let me show you what this pour looks like. Here you go. Can you see that? But obviously, the proof is in the drinking. Let's see how it tastes. Oh my, that's perfect. Well, I want to thank you for joining us. And if you have one of these machines, or even if you don't, please give me any information that you may have on yours that might help me with mine, and hopefully as a community we can refine the way that we make our coffee and espresso. And stay tuned for more discussions about being on the crew with Paul Harrell. Thank you very much for joining us, and I'll see you soon.